Hope you had yourself an amazing Thursday. It is the 11th of July 2024, 1914 East African time. And of course, I'm here to give you the updates on what was happening throughout the whole of Africa today. And today, there were quite some interesting things happening. For example, in Kenya, we saw the president fire his entire cabinet, something that has not been seen in years. The last time we saw a president fire his entire cabinet was Mwai Kibaki. And after he fired his entire cabinet, things went well for Kenya. That is when we started seeing a little development. I'm not saying the same is going to happen because Kibaki is not Ruto, and the two of them are not the same. But it was a big win for the young people who have been in the streets protesting over the last couple of weeks, because among the things that they were demanding for was for the dissolution of the whole entire cabinet secretaries. And the reason for this was because they were all but political appointees. It was just tokenism, where just because we were friends and you helped me go to get votes in the last election, so I now appoint you as the minister, the cabinet secretary for health, even though you have no knowledge, no experience, no idea whatsoever what the Ministry of Health entails. So that was the issue, where we saw the president just award, not just Ruto, that has been the trend really in Kenya. I don't know about other African countries, but I guess it's the same, where once a president is elected, then as a show of tokenism, as a show of it's called a political debt. Paying political debt, I appoint all my friends, all my clansmen, all my tribe mates to even critical industries, critical ministries. And that is why you see you have a cabinet secretary, for example, for internal security, who has no idea what internal security
Talking
entails.
about exactly, and I qualified for the position. It's all
Yep,
based on craft and tribal
mm,
nepotism nonsense.
it's based in Kenya. It's always based either on tribe, either on friendship, or on the next election, because I want you to, because they know the tribal, the political landscape is so tribal.
Yeah,
One person has, if I for example, one person might have 100,000 votes tied to him. I mean, he tells his people we are voting for this person, they're not gonna
yeah.
question. So I know if I give a certain person a job, I've secured 100,000 votes.
Folks,
So that is political tokenism.
that's political crazy.
I actually did not think, this caught me by surprise. I knew he was gonna fire a few cabinet secretaries for PR purposes. I knew he would fire two or three, but dissolving an entire cabinet secretary, about 17 of them, that is
You're always,
crazy.
you're always surprised about the power of the people, Demore. How
Uh,
dare you, you shameless
that's
bastard.
that, that that did surprise me, because I knew he was gonna do some PR, of course. As somebody who has studied PR, I expected PR from him. The PR I expected was him sacrificing 3, 4 of his not so close friends to hoodwink Kenyans. But everybody was shocked, like I was. He did the whole cabinet,
It's too
whole.
little, too late. Yeah, he's trying to survive. It's
Yep,
too little, too late. He's not gonna survive.
the attorney general at home. But let me tell you, it's gonna have a lot of backlash, because from the ones that he fired. Because one thing I know about these politicians is they have a lot
Of
of dirt
course.
on each other.
They got dirt
They
on him. Exactly right.
Yep, they steal together, they cut deals together, they cut corners together, and that's why they
Exactly.
always have pride and ego, because they know they can't be fired. Because how can you fire me when
I got the dirt on your ass. That's right. And I'm
how can you fire me
exposed.
when we stall together,
That's right. I'm exposed to stealing. Yeah, exactly. I'm exposed to all the stealing.
So they were
And then,
shocked, as we were. They were shocked. We had one who was traveling to Paris for the Olympics, the cabinet secretary for for sports and youth, and he was told that he's not traveling anymore. It's
yeah,
crazy. I don't think they
yeah.
even knew
You're
before.
traveling. You're traveling shut down. Like, I'm trying to go. What is going on? You got sacked. What? I know Ruto's all his secrets. Yeah, but you still got sacked. Now, time to go.
I know they're
I
gonna
sent
throw
you. I,
shades
I
and
sent you. I sent you a video, Laura. I want you to play
let me
on
play
your
it.
phone. Yeah, I sent you a video understanding the level of corruption and the reason for privatization. I was trying to teach you about, so the Kenyans understand it. And privatization is a scam. It's a con to steal your infrastructure and
Mm-hmm.
give it to white people and get these bootlicker politicians a cut of the enterprise that belongs to the goddamn Kenyans and just raises the prices on everything and makes things worse. Scams, a lie. So, besides that dude was calling the truth out. I know they must be listening to this. He said, how are these people rich? They don't manufacture nothing. They don't
Mm-hmm.
invent nothing. They don't, he said they don't have no agriculture. How they rich? That's right. Because they're part of the political system. They're stealing. Then they got these privatization scams. That's what they are. White man wants to privatize all your industries so he can take them over, raise the prices.
Yeah,
It's parasitic.
through
That's it.
proxies. You gonna believe that it's an African who bought it, but it's true. They're just using the Africans as proxy.
Exactly. Exactly.
You guys think so highly about the Degwa family because they own NIC and NCBA. But if you look, their father, who was once a central bank governor called Philip Ndegwa, was the chairman of that privatization commission or committee that was formed in conjunction with the World Bank and the IMF, so that we can be part of these structural adjustment programs, conditionalities for us to access loans so as to bridge the deficit that has been created by bad governance. So Philip Ndegwa becomes the chairman of the privatization commission. What does he first do? Anajichotea pesa zake. He first grabs a few companies. There was Nairobi Airport Services called NAS. There were many other companies which were grabbed during that period. But then you'll realize that the World Bank is hiding behind some of these government officials, and then they make it as if that, oh, we are selling these parastatals to clear our debt. But no, it is them who are grabbing. So during that period is when we saw the privatization of companies like Kenya Power. If you look at Kenya Power, since it was privatized, has our power bills, have they been cheaper or more? So the privatization was just a hoodwink. It was just a scam crafted for a few elites like Mama Ngina to grab our state-owned corporations. Look at Safaricom. During the same period, we had the Kenya Post and Telecommunications Corporation. Then, because of some mambo jumbo and magic over here, we were told it must be privatized. And so Safaricom was a department under the Kenya Post and Telecommunications Corporation. You understand? And that's where we have these clowns like Gideon Moi owning Mobitelea, 5% of Safaricom, given for free, under the guise that Vodafone is the one which is buying it. But Vodafone was giving 5% to Gideon Moi as a bribe because of acquiring Safaricom, which was a department of Kenya Post and Telecommunications Corporation. Look at something like Kenya Airways. We were told and we were fashioned. I remember I was reading the newspapers. I was very young. And they told us that privatization is a quick fix panacea, that because we are going to privatize, things are going to be better. Now, because the old generation of useless bastards, the boomers, if you are a boomer over here and you're there, you are useless.
That's right. If you're a boomer, if you are a boomer, goddammit, the more says you're a baby boomer, you are an idiot and a moron. Sit down and shut the fuck up. Go ahead, continue. That's right.
But I can't blame them for this. I myself, when I joined Black Hot Fire Kid, I don't know if you can remember.
I remember you talking about that privatization shit. I was trying to explain it to you.
Yeah, because that's what I had not yet learned everything that I had learned.
Yeah, I know, but at least you had learned it. But you're not a boomer that fucks up everything, DeMoray.
Because they lied to you that privatization is a good thing, it's going to save money. Because
it's a lie.
Why don't we sell it?
But you've learned the more how to investigate, how to go beneath the lie that you're told.
I agree. I was stupid. Now I'm not.
You weren't stupid. You just was ignorant. Didn't know.
privatization. They bought into the idea of, oh, we let's get the golden handshake, and being stupid as they are, and even today they are still very stupid. They signed themselves up for a suicide. And so Kenya Airways, which was a fully state-owned corporation, has changed hands. It was sold first to KLM, and then there was this partnership between KLM. And then what they did is, now when they got to now the worst part, which was during the Uhuru era, they started selling our primest landing spots. For instance, Kenya Airways used to land in London at 6:10 a.m. There was a flight leaving Nairobi to London at 6:10. They sold that. They sold that to some, I don't know whether it's Bahrain or one of those companies or one of those countries. They sold that slot to bridge the deficit about debt that we don't know how.
Now I understand why Kenya Airways makes billions of losses every year. And despite the fact that it's always fully booked. If I wanted to book a plane, a Kenya Airways plane, it's fully booked, but at the end of the year, we count losses and we have to bail them out.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know how Kenya Airways got broke. We don't know how Kenya Airways got into debt, but somehow we have, because that is, your landing slot is almost like a sovereign parcel of land. You sell it, you concede it to another country to bridge problems that you yourselves have created. And so when we are talking about auditing debt, Jimmy Wajegi is talking about odious debt. If we are talking about it, we are not just limiting ourselves to the debt. We are looking at the atrocities committed at the turn of the 80s to the 90s, where now that character, that clown called Philip Ndegwa, who was a central bank governor, who you guys are shamelessly praising today because they are rich, because you guys, your self-esteem has been suppressed. You are praising that clown, saying that they are rich, but they themselves stole their wealth. Is a code. I used to read articles that Philip Ndegwa is rich. He was the first Kenyan to bank 1 billion. How are you banking 1 fucking billion? You have no manufacturing company.
Exactly. Even listen, you got no manufacturing. You haven't invented shit. You haven't invented a goddamn thing. You don't manufacture shit. You don't got big agriculture. So where's the money coming from? You stole it.
Chief, it's a miracle.
It's a Jesus miracle. All right, go ahead, continue. You get that fucking money. That's right.
Where did you get that fucking money? These are questions when anytime we confront the ruling elite, we tell them, hey, can you tell us how you acquired this money? Because there was a time they used to flaunt their money. They used to flaunt these stories. Oh, I used to read those silly, nonsensical stories by somebody like Jenga Karume. Jenga Karume says, I used to sell charcoal. Who the fuck would believe that charcoal would make you a billionaire? Those are not, unless you're exporting that charcoal to Mars or to Jupiter as an alternative energy source. We've been fed with lies. We've been fed with cock and bull stories.
As I said, they tell you about Ruto selling his Smokies on the road. Like, what? If you believe a motherfucker selling Smokies became a million, you are a moron.
Kid, I told you it's a miracle.
See, it don't work anymore. See, your people, Kenya, have caught up with your lies. You can't keep saying stupid shit to them. And he's calling you a spade. What the fuck are you talking about? Exactly. Say it loud and front. Who the fuck is the money? You talking about you selling charcoal on the road, making $1 billion. Let's just sell it on the moon or the Jupiter or some shit. That don't make no sense.
Shameless editors who have you just run with any rubbish. You don't want to question how this person acquired this wealth. They were in government. They used to do X, Y, and Z, and somehow they landed into a lot of money. And because there were no checks and balances, suddenly they are billionaires and they are being praised. They are being worshipped by the church. We have the corrupt clergy. I see people are calling them kilaji. But this is the historical injustices that we have, especially from the economic front. It has to be all the companies that were grabbed by people hiding behind the narrative of privatization.
That's right. That's why I come back in and I nationalize all that shit. We're taking all of it back.
A golden handshake.
Fuck the IMF.
You'll go home, and by the time those guys were taking a golden handshake and leaving state-owned corporations, which were permanent and pensionable, they went to the villages and went to rot there to die.
Things are bad.
But I do agree with. But I don't know what this other one is talking about. Things are bad, but I understand things are bad. I get what that gentleman, his name is Gaido. I get what Gaido is trying to say, because some of the economic frauds that have happened in this country are beyond description. Talk about the Goldberg scandal that happened. Talk about, some of the scandals that have happened, especially to do with one with the debts that they used to borrow. At that time in the 90s, in the 2000s, in the early 2010s, there was not much access to information. We had to just depend on this mainstream media and the newspapers.
Yeah, the fake news. Exactly right.
For that, because I remember growing up, there were very few TV sets, and that is me. So imagine now those ones who were born in the 90s and the 80s. So they were able to so easily do economic frauds, because that is economic fraud. Borrow money. That is why the Kenyan debt is to a tune that I'm talking about, 11 trillion, which I know it's small, but we still should be seeing where the 11 trillion is so big for an African country, for a country like Kenya, whose GDP is whatever it is. So we should be seeing where this money went. So the economic fraud that we experience, the economic turmoil that we're experiencing right now, is not even a product of the last 2 years, 3 years. It's a product of last decades.
Years from the beginning, set up as a corrupt state of graft and corruption. That's right. As Joby said, they offered Jobo his big house and his library to sell out the whole country. Listen, nigga, we're gonna give you a house and library, and we're gonna give you some white coochie. White coochie! Oh shit! Yeah! And then she was a spy. The Joe, they always get these handkerchief head niggas, some white woman who's a spy. so I forgot her name. I know Joe told me that name was Edna or some shit. His white. Look at the name again for me tomorrow. Say, what was Jomo Kenyatta's white wife name? Edna, some shit, Agnes or some shit. This nigga, we'll give you a white woman, your house, we'll give you some land too. So you sell out everybody. Oh, thank you.
Edna.
What's her name?
Edna.
Yeah. Edna. Oh, I got my white coochie. Whoa! Of course, she was a spy. All these handkerchief head niggas always giving some white woman because they had self-hate. They always give some white who's a spy. Of course, they always. You go back in time. I know she's a MI6 spy from England. She's a spy. Watch this nigga and make sure he does what you told him to do. Report all his movements back to us. Okay, so we're.
I know at that time they used to take advantage of the fact that there was no access to information, because in the 80s, who even knew in Kenya, who even had an idea about privatization, nationalization,
Of course
at
not.
that time, even basic education was not easily accessible.
No,
that's why most of our parents are not even learned. So
that's on purpose, exactly.
Yeah, they can't even know what privatization is. But now that we know, we should go back. We should revisit each and every corporation, each and every debt, each and every coin.
Of course. Well, you got to give a national audit that goes back. You got to do a forensic audit. Forensic, going back years. That's not hard to do. Do it. They don't want you to do it. They don't want you to do it.
You have to ask yourself, how come the Kenyatta family has a shamba, a farm, land? Thousands of acres.
Yeah. When they were poor, when the Kenyatas are poor and fucked up. Yeah, they're poor. They got this money now. Don't think why are their bank accounts and offshore accounts in the Caymans at the Moray? Because they're corrupt. They're thief dumb. Jomo Kenyatta never built shit, never created shit, never done shit, and betrayed the Mau movement. He was a puppet from the beginning. So why is the family wealthy? Because that's the payoff for letting them steal Kenya. That's the payment. I got
I
my
do
and I got my white coochie demore. Fuck you! Yay!
I do agree with you, Keith, that in as much as we are crafting the future and looking into the future, you also have to look at the past, because the past is where our
Of
trouble
course.
began. You know, in as much as we are looking at now going into the future, we don't want this and this to happen. We still have to look at the past, at the things that happened that
Yes.
should have happened, and we need to correct that, because we can't be having a country of 10, actually of 30 millionaires, 30 billionaires, 30 million poor people. You can't be having that, because that's what we have.
No.
Where
If you don't
about
know the past,
100
Demore,
people,
you don't know
100,
where you're going. So
mhm.
you're right. You got to check the past. If you don't check the past, you don't know where you're going. You're exactly right. You need to know what's been done in the
Mhm.
past in your name. Who's been stealing? You've been had a whole. Like I tell you, Africans made a whole fake ass heroes out the puppets who were corrupt from the beginning. Jomo's the father of the nation. No, he's not. The Mama are the fathers of Kenya, who were treated like shit. Those are the fathers of Kenya, not no fucking Jomo. But the white man in his propaganda made this puppet ass, grab, skilling ass nigga that he was. His own family's corrupt. Whole family's supposed to be prosecuted. See, when you go back, like you said to me, you go back and start research that whole family's going to jail. And that money, all that money that they got belongs to the Kenyans. That's part of the debt right there. All them bank accounts in the Cayman, I want them seized. I want that money put back in the Kenyan coffers. And this family is going to be broke. And all these other families who stole money. That's the majority of them. That's stolen funds. Here, IMF, take that shit. Here you go. That's their shit. You ain't getting no more our money. Take the Hurus, the Kenyatas, all these. Take goddamn the Rudos. Take their money. Here you go.
And
That's
so
the
that's what I was
stealing.
talking about, a deep, comprehensive forensic audit. And I know,
Yep.
especially with the nationalization, the privatization of corporations and the debts, they have milked Kenya dry, especially in the 90s. And for example, we had a
Of course.
bond that we were paying. There's a bond that we were paying this year. And the crazy thing is that they do that and they're not the ones who are going to pay it. Most of the people who are involved in these scandals are dead. We are the ones paying it. Their kids are still enjoying living in luxury as
Of
us
course.
pay for their, for example, in I don't remember when did they take the Eurobond? There was a Eurobond that they took that was worth 2 billion USD. 2
Yeah.
billion USD. And
Damn.
and they can't point at one project that the Eurobond did. They can't point at one.
It's all stolen
And
then.
do you know who paid the Eurobond? Ruto did. I mean, Ruto's government did. The people did. The people paid during Ruto's tenure, something that was borrowed so many years ago. So it's not even those who borrowed that suffer. It's us who are now, we have
And
to
it's
actually look
criminal.
at
They
audit.
pass it on to the youth. Yeah, it's criminal.
Yeah.
That's called taxing the next generation. That's
And
criminal.
when I say Ruto is paying for Ruto's government through us is paying for a Eurobond that was taken years ago. I'm not saying he's even a good person, because he himself, I know, is now borrowing debts that are gonna be paid in 2042 now for the next generation to also come
Uh,
and pay. They
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
as long as they can pass that burden to somebody else.
yeah, yeah. What you're doing, you're burdening your posterity. You don't do that. You don't rob the day so your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids have to pay off something they had nothing to do about it. It's criminal and it's immoral.
Mhm. So I do agree on the forensic audit. You look at another scandal, for example, we had the Golden Bag scandal in Kenya also, where Kenya, how many billions did Kenya lose in the Golden Bag scandal? I can't remember, but it was a lot of money. A lot of money was lost in the. It is Kenya's biggest money scandal. So some of those things was in the 90s, and one of the people who are beneficiaries of this is still in government up to date. So we have to. It was 1.5 billion USD.
Wasn't
That is
that
the
the
amount.
speaker? Ain't that the speaker of the house now?
The only CS was not fired. I don't wanna.
Okay.
So he fired all the CSS except one. That one is allegedly one who was part of the
That's
Golden scandal.
that's right. So I know Rudo's part of it. Can't fire. I'm gonna kill everything on you, nigga.
Yeah, so we have to actually go back. We actually have to go back and look at each and every debt, each and every privatization that was made, each and every company that was opened, each and every money that was banked. But now, those are not things you get through dialogue. Those are not things that you sit down and talk about. Those are not
Yeah, you
things that
need
you
that. Like,
tell.
I need a forensic audit done. I need to find out where all this money. And you're gonna lead you back to all these politicians, especially the Uhuru family, the
Mhm,
Kenyatta family, stolen millions of dollars. They stolen millions. This crazy money they stolen. Whole corrupt ass family.
mhm,
So, and then all the other politicians underneath them have stolen money. I go, their bank accounts are seized under Kenyan law. Your bank accounts are seized. All that money is given right over to the IMF. Here go your shit. Here you go. So then you also, so you take down the fake elite in Kenya who are not elite. They just stole money. There's no elite in Africa because they haven't built shit. To be an elite, you must build something, a business, invent something, do something. So they're not elite. They're all criminals put there by crackers. So there's no elite. So I'm taking all your money. All that money's got to go to the IMF. Taking all that shit. So days of you walking in Kenya think, oh, that's the Kenyatta family. That's the elite. Not no more. Not no goddamn more. You're gonna be broke. All you Kenyans are gonna be living in Kibera. They're gonna rename it Kibera Kenyatta.
but but I don't um one thing that is making me happy is the amount of dirt that is about to be spilled over the next couple of months now that the cabinet secretaries were fired. A lot of dirt is about to be spilled. We're about to know about even some of the scandals that we would have never known about because who would have told us? The
Good.
EFCC that
Exactly.
is in charge of corruption, that is the most corrupt body we have in Kenya. The police, corrupt as hell. So I'm happy because now we're going to see the amount of dirt that is going to, because he fired even some of his closest friends. He had
Of
those
course.
close, yeah, he fired them,
He
and
try,
they're not gonna take it like,
he's trying to survive, Demore. He's
yeah.
not gonna. You think Kenya's corrupt? Motherfucker, Ghana is on another level. Shit.
I know Ghana. I know Ghana is General Mosquito's Ghana is worse
Ghana-
than Kenya.
Ghana's on another level
Mhm.
of corruption. Ghana and Nigeria, my God. You look up in the dictionary of corruption, you see them two grouping countries right there. Ghana, Nigeria.
uh, I think the difference with Ghana and Nigeria is that in Nigeria, it's everybody is corrupt, not just the government, but everything from the top downwards.
All right, well,
Everything.
you're right. It's corrupt the whole society. That's
Yeah.
why that's why Nigerians got such a bad name now outside Nigeria. Nobody wants Nigerians in their country no more. If
Mhm.
South Africans trying to kick them out, Zimbabwe trying to get them out, you can't even get an apartment. If you're Nigerian, you're trying to get an apartment in Kenya, they don't want you there because you
You better
kept the apartments. They talking about you beating up Kenyan women, throwing them over balconies and shit. I'm like, what? How about
Nigerians,
you beating up on Kenyan women?
Nigeria is so messed up that Gambians don't want anything to do with them. Do you know how messed up you have to be for Gambia to not want Gambia with their IQ do not want Nigerians? That is the bottom barrel of you being messy, man.
That what your cousin? That what your cousin said? Your cousin
Yeah,
told you that the
yeah,
morning.
you're
What
telling
she
me about
say?
Nigerians.
What
You're
she
telling me about
say?
Nigerians in Gambia being scammers. And I was like,
Yeah,
why are you scamming Gambians? Come on. That country is
yeah.
poor
Poor,
already.
poor as it. Poor as shit. You're going to a poor country to scam more poor people. Shit, crazy. So where you go? They go there. They go there because they know they got a low IQ. All right, we go here, goddamn it. Scam these
Yeah,
niggas.
I there should be some code of conduct even among thieves. I mean,
That's right.
you agree
But
that you cannot steal from
not,
those ones.
not,
Those
just,
ones
not,
are
just,
regarded.
not just said you all fair game. You no honor among thieves. Damn your code of conduct. Goddamn Demore.
You gotta give it to Nigerian scammers. They
Yeah,
have zero discrimination policy.
it's right. And I tell you, because all you Nigerians in Kenya, they say, make sure you put the goddamn apartment in your girlfriend's name. Because nobody wants your ass in there. Goddamn.
And General Osguro is telling me when I was in university trying to rent somewhere to stay, the landlord would ask me, "Are you Nigerian?" I was like, "What's that got to do with anything?"
See, it happened to General Mosquitoes.
Those Nigerian brothers are only trying to survive. They're saying they
Oh,
do so much.
shit.
And a big shout out to Sinovia, who's also with me, and Ansan Kenwan. A big shout out to you. He's saying, I'm gonna be looking at the comments real quick. So we're gonna see how. But I'm happy because the other reason why I'm happy is because now that the other African youth are seeing the because those are wins we are getting as the Kenyan people. We've gotten about 3-4 wins so far. The IABC was reconstituted, meaning that we can now
That's
recall
what
the.
happened. But that's when you got an educated populace. Or
Mhm.
you're not your parents. First of all, you're not fearful like your parents and grandparents. Second of all, you have a vast array of knowledge now.
Mhm.
Now that's why they're all fucked up and firing people. Shit, they don't know what to do. These goddamn Kenyan bastards. You know he mad as hell. Imagine the meetings they having the more behind closed doors. These Kenyan bastards, they too goddamn smart. Every time y'all tell me to do something, y'all fucking me up more. You tell me about, I'm gonna fire all you advisors too, shit.
Tell
I'm
them to
trying to
chill. The
survive.
domino effect has not even started hitting yet. Wait till the domino effect hits properly. Then you're gonna see Africa in its true color. The awakened Africa really. And
That was, they're trying to stop. That's why you got Museveni out there threatening people right now. You niggas bet not. You
they
keep,
jailed they jailed somebody in Uganda. I was to report on that. They jailed a TikToker in Uganda for
they
six
jailed,
years.
they jailed, yeah, Jim 6 years because he said something about the damn president, about Museveni. 6 years, what kind of democracy is this? It's not. It's a scam. Because he said something on TikTok about Museveni. Oh my, 6 years in
Uganda,
jail. You crazy.
Ugandans and Maria tried to train the I don't know free who, and Museveni said we're not freeing anybody. This brother is doing
That's
free.
right.
Nobody is getting freed on this side. And the same happened in Tanzania where the other one banned
You
Suluhu's
burnt the
picture.
picture, which is supposed to, this is legal. In a democracy, that's legal. That's freedom of speech. They should know he
Ah,
went to Trump. I think they let him out, though. They had to let him out because,
they did.
unlike, yeah, they had to give him bail. Unlike Uganda, Tanzania's always been free. Now, you fuck around and find out you do that shit Museveni does in Tanzania, that whole country will erupt. That whole country is not like Uganda. Tanzania will erupt and they'll toss her ass out of there. She knows so far she can't do that Ugandan shit. Lock somebody for 6 years of burning your picture. Yeah, they took her to jail, but that six lawyers came out ready and got him out. Cause that's Tanzania don't fuck around like that. Fuck around and find out. Shit. It ain't Uganda. That whole country burned. Fuck around and find out.
So, the Ziba Jabba was saying this occurred before mass privatization. That is in
Yeah,
regards to the video of Gaido that you
yeah,
sent me talking about how those families
yeah.
obtained half of Africa's
Yeah,
wealth back
well,
then. And
well,
the unspoken one agrees with you. He's saying facts, Keith. I used to tell these Haitians in Tampa the same when they would tell the lie that they were from aristocracy. And he say, Sinovia says, peace to Dimore, Keith and Jiba Jaba, peace to you, Sinovia. The unspoken one is saying, is agreeing with Jiba Jaba. And General Mosquito goes on to say, that it's about time the people are tired. It's about time Africans are tired, and the domino
It takes
effect.
Africans. It takes Africans a long time to get tired. They always say about they think Africans are kind and loving. They put up with so much shit. It takes a long time for Africans to get tired. It takes a long, but when they do reach that point, but that's what's happened. That's why I say you can't do that with Tanzania. Tanzania is responsible for freeing all these other African countries. That's their history of freedom fighters and helping Mozambique, helping Zimbabwe, helping Zambia, helping all these countries get free. So you're not gonna put that bullshit in Tanzania. Their history is helping other Africans get free of the white man. So you think you're gonna do that shit in Tanzania? You about to go? You about to get the fuck out that office? Because that country, out of all countries in Africa, has always been
Free.
having freedom fighters there and liberating the rest of Africa. That's their history.
Yeah, with the Maji Maji, I know that there was a Maji Maji rebellion similar to the Mau Mau. Yeah, Njiba Jaba is saying, I told you there's a Nigerian on the moon selling watches. Personally, if I landed on the moon and saw Nigerians, I'll know that is not the real moon. There is no way. That is
Yeah, you got Nigeria. Yeah, you got Nigerians in Mexico selling tacos. Shit, I'm like, damn, what? That's right. These are Nigerian tacos, nigga. You know what Nigerian taco is? You look in it, ain't no meat in there. Nothing. That's the where the meat and the ingredients at? This is a Nigerian taco. Ain't shit in there.
But those brothers are very creative and very intelligent. They are among the
They are smart. They are smart as shit. That's why they so many scams. They're smart.
I know the Gambians might want to, but they don't know how to. They really can't scam you. You know, they don't have.
Nah, I like a Nigerian. Nigerian have you butt naked walking around town. Say, look at my new clothes. Look at them. Look at my new clothes. They say, no, you butt naked, Des Moines. No, the Nigerian sold me some invisible clothes. How much you paid, Des Moines? I paid 30,000 Kenyan shillings. Look at them. It's a new style. Say, no, Negro, you butt naked. They lied to you. You ain't hip to the new style.
Nigeria is the capital city of Africa, really. It's supposed to be one of the richest countries in Africa.
It should be the richest country in Africa.
And Sinovia is agreeing that we might get there because she says, I feel like we're starting to fight together, which is true. Anyway, family, Kamlesh and Joby are coming up in a bit.
Yeah, you guys go to TikTok or the network and do your favorite request. Joby and Kamlesh are coming up doing the vibes. What's it called? What they call that show? The culture show. The culture show. So if you're on the network, just go to the network. You guys know the show page. Type in your request. I'll be on TikTok or Instagram. They're on Instagram too now. Instagram or TikTok. I got Fire Radio and type in your request. They'll play your request on either the network or TikTok or Instagram. So, so understand, man. Nigerians, man. You can't be messing up appointments in Kenya. They don't want to put you in there no more. I laugh.
Sinovia is out there beefing with the Nigerians. Looks like she also has some. She's saying Nigerians have the old white women here in America crying and thinking they were in love.
Yeah, they like the Jamaicans. You can't turn a Jamaican and a Nigerian away from no white coochie. Oh, coochie. Nigerians and Jamaicans love them some white snatch. Give it white coochie. They'll run you over. I don't know who's faster, Jamaican. Jamaicans are fast. Jamaicans are running Nigerians over to get to some white coochie. Get out the way, Jamaica. Get out the way, Nigeria. Get your ass out the way, Nigeria. They'll do a Hussein Bolt on you. They'll do a Hussein Bolt on you, goddamn Des Moines. Why are you running so fast? This white coochie, nigga. Don't you see white coochie?
Shout out to those Shout out to those Jollof brothers. Anyway, much love,
I'm
family. See you
doing. They're
tomorrow.
doing their best, Jomo. The Jomo Kenyatta goddamn impersonation. I want white coochie too. Get out the way.
See you tomorrow, kid. Yeah.
All right, Jamar. Fast, boy. The Jamaicans are fast. What I